He drove a Tesla, spoke big English, and proposed on a yacht. But behind the designer suits and crypto riches was something darker, something deadly. Broken heart. Before you say, "I do" to a rich man in Lagos, listen to this true-to-life tale. It might save your life. Now sit down, turn off the lights, and let me tell you the story of Claribel and the ritual that almost claimed her soul. Welcome to Folktales by Chisom, where every story holds a hidden truth. If you love powerful stories with a twist, you're in the right place. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Claribel Onai was tired of struggle. At 26, she was running a struggling online boutique from her tiny apartment in Surulere. Every day she saw girls her age flaunting soft life on Instagram, front row at concerts, shopping in Dubai, riding in Porsches, and all she had was an iPhone XR and a dream. That was before Desmond Langley walked into her life. She met him at a tech launch in Lekki Phase 1. He was tall, rich-skinned, and smelled like Tom Ford. Dressed in a black kaftan with Versace slippers, he moved like someone who didn't have to beg for anything. He claimed to be into crypto, owned a blockchain startup, and casually mentioned investing in real estate across Lagos. When he paid for the entire table's 1.2 million Nigerian nairas bill without blinking, Claribel's heart left her chest. They started dating the next week. Desmond was everything she had prayed for: money, class, and connections. No more buying second-hand wigs. No more begging Bolt drivers. No more hustle. He bought her an iPhone 14 Pro, sent her money to stock up her boutique, and gave her access to his driver, Osric. Within 2 months he proposed on a yacht off Banana Island. She said yes, not because she knew him, but because she wanted to stop suffering. When Claribel told her cousin Velma about the engagement, Velma didn't smile. "Wait, what's his real name?" Velma asked. "Desmond Langley," Claribel said proudly. "Langley? That's not a Nigerian surname." "So?" Claribel snapped. "Love doesn't need a surname. He's loaded." Velma looked her in the eye. "You've never met his family. Never seen his office. Never asked questions. Does that not bother you?" Claribel waved it off. "You think I'll lose a billionaire over family introduction? Velma, I've suffered enough. I'm marrying him, rich or not." But Velma wasn't the only one warning her. Desmond's driver, Osric, was always oddly quiet. He looked at Claribel like he wanted to say something but didn't dare. Sometimes he muttered things like, "Auntie, money no be everything, oh," but he'd go silent whenever Desmond came near. Claribel didn't care. The man had a Tesla in Lagos. If that wasn't proof of divine blessing, what was? After the engagement, Claribel moved into Desmond's penthouse in Lekki. It was everything she dreamed of: marble floors, golden chandeliers, a walk-in closet filled with high-end clothes, most with price tags still hanging. She spent her mornings sipping iced coffee on the balcony, watching the sun rise over the city. But something felt off. Desmond never slept through the night. At exactly 2:33 a.m., he would always wake, disappear into a room at the end of the hallway, and return an hour later, silent and sweaty. She once heard whispers, low, disturbing murmurs coming from that locked room. When she asked him about it, he chuckled. "Just meditating," he said. "You won't understand. Spiritual grounding." She shrugged. Rich people were weird. But it wasn't just the noises. Sometimes the mirrors in the house fogged up, even with no heat. Once she found a live cockroach in her pillow. Another time her nose bled for no reason. The locked room at the end of the hall began to haunt her dreams. Claribel first met Madame Braxton one humid evening when she went to buy fruit down the street. The old woman lived in the building opposite Desmond's. Her head was always wrapped in dark scarves, her eyes yellow with age and mystery. That day she stopped Claribel and whispered, "He's marked you." Claribel laughed awkwardly. "Ma, your man. His spirit is heavy. You won't last if you don't run now." Claribel scoffed. "He's rich. He's clean. And I'm safe." Madame Braxton leaned closer. "If you don't believe me, check under your bed tonight. If your name is written in chalk, leave before your blood feeds his wealth." That night Claribel checked. There, under her bed, circled in white chalk, was her name. Her blood ran cold. Claribel didn't sleep. She waited for Desmond to leave the next morning. When he left for a crypto business meeting, she went to the forbidden room. She had memorized the way he opened the digital lock. Inside, the room was dimly lit in red. Incense choked the air. Mirrors were positioned to face each other endlessly. A wooden bowl sat in the center, filled with old coins and what looked like fresh blood. Then she saw them, 7 photographs, each burned around the edges. Beautiful women. All different. All wearing rings. One of them wore the exact same engagement dress she wore weeks ago. On the wall was a chalk-written symbol she'd never seen. Beside it, a note. Number 8, Claribel. Full moon. Final transfer. She stumbled back, heart pounding. Desmond had used others before her, and she was next. Osric found her that evening, sitting in the compound, shivering. He looked around before sitting beside her. You went inside, didn't you? She nodded, tears in her eyes. Osric sighed deeply. Madam, Desmond na ritualist. Yahoo Plus. His crypto business no be real. Na sacrifice day fundam. Claribel gasped. Why didn't you say anything before? I fit talk? You know see wetin he do our former house help? She find one of his charms, next day dem say she mad. Till today she day walk naked for mile 2. Claribel felt like vomiting. He go use you for full moon. That room, na spiritual account. Every time he get broke for real life he top up with blood. Claribel asked, why are you telling me this now? Osric looked at her with pain. Because you be the only one way say thank you when I open door. They planned it carefully. Osric would drive her to Velma's house after Desmond left for one of his meetings. She would block his number and disappear. But things didn't go as planned. That night, Desmond came home earlier than expected. He was furious. You entered the room, didn't you? Claribel shook as she backed away. I made you. I cleaned you. And this is how you thank me? He snarled. She screamed, ran into the guest room and locked it. He banged for 10 minutes, then went silent. From the gap under the door, red light seeped in. And then, the chanting began. Claribel jumped out of the guest room window and limped across the street. She banged on Madame Braxton's door. The old woman let her in without a word. Inside, the air smelled like camphor and burning herbs. Madame Braxton began a ritual of her own, muttering in a tongue Claribel had never heard. Suddenly, Desmond appeared in the hallway, drenched in sweat, shirtless, holding the bowl of blood. His eyes weren't normal. They were jet black. You think you can hide? He growled. Madame Braxton flung something, a powdery mix, at him. He screamed like a beast, convulsed, and vanished into the street like smoke and wind. Claribel spent 3 weeks in hiding. Velma took her to therapy. With Osric's help, she collected voice notes, videos, and evidence, including photos of the ritual room. They leaked it to a popular Lagos blog. The story exploded. Crypto King or Ritual Lord. Inside Desmond Langley's billionaire secrets. Other women came forward. One was in Canada. One had been declared missing in 2022. Interpol got involved. Desmond disappeared again, last seen at the Ghana border. Authorities froze his accounts. His Instagram was deactivated. But no one found him. Some say he changed his face. Others say he now lives in a coffin. Claribel never went back to the boutique. She started an organization, Sisters Who Survived, teaching women how to spot predators in designer suits. She tells her story in churches, conferences, and podcasts. One day during a radio interview, the host asked her, if you could go back in time, what would you do differently? Claribel smiled sadly. I wouldn't ask how much he makes. I'd ask how he makes it. Then she added, before you say yes to a man with money, ask yourself, whose blood is feeding his bank account? Thank you for watching Folktales by Chisom. Every tale we share isn't just for entertainment. It's a lesson, a warning, a mirror. If this story moved you, drop a comment and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, not every glittering love story ends in gold. Some end in blood. Stay wise. Stay safe. See you in the next one.